Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Paul Church from Clarity Craft here in the UK, and this is
Louise from Clarity Crafts in the UK as well.
welcome. So, thank you very much for joining us on this lovely Monday afternoon. We are currently celebrating 10 years of Groovy. We kicked it all off yesterday at 3 o'clock with Barb. With a fantastic launch of a new size plate,
yes.
The midi plate. So if you missed that show, that is available for you to go back and watch either via our YouTube page, or you can go back to our website and go to the Catch Up and Craft. So 10 years
I can't
of Groovy.
believe how fast it's gone.
It
10 whole
really,
years.
and how things have changed in
know.
relation to Groovy and parchment art in those 10 years. The lovely Gracie is in the room with you. So if you have any questions, she'll be there to help. She'll pop up the show page with all the products that we're going to feature during the course of this hour. And she'll also go back and pop the link in from yesterday's show. So if you did miss that, then obviously you can click those links and just follow it through. But it really was a fantastic show yesterday.
It was. Yeah.
And the brand new midi plates. We'll have a little bit of a recap on the midi plates at the beginning. But first of all, what we're going to do. So 10 years of Groovy, 10 days of celebration, 10% off all things Groovy and Pergamano. And for example, if there was a bundle of Groovy plates that was already discounted, you'll get 10% off of that discounted price as well.
Oh, brilliant.
So, for example, some of the items we've got on today's show already had £10 off, for example. And so, say it was a £50 bundle and it came down to 40 with a £10 saving, you're going to get 10% off that £40. So, not only are you getting the £10 saving, you're getting an additional £4 saving. Plus, if you're a club member, you're going to get your club discount as well. And it gets even better. If you spend £50 or more during the course of a 24-hour period, we are giving away 10 golden tickets, and each of these tickets is worth £60.
Wow.
And what that means is that the winner can, we'll announce it announce today's one. I'll tell you who that was in a moment. It means, so for example, if you shopped with us yesterday, then we chose at random somebody that placed an order over £50, and the golden ticket means that that person can take part in the 1, 2, 3 Groovy and Pergamano courses.
Brilliant, yeah.
So if you want to go back and do the foundation course, you can do that. If you want to do the white work course that we've recently finished, you can do that. Or if you think, oh, I've already done those, or I want to do the colouring one, or the perforating and the pico, you can put your name down for that. So you'll be one of the first to be signed up to that course, which is coming in September and November.
Yes.
So the winner of the very first Groovy golden ticket was Diane Miller. So that went all over our social media today. I'm guessing that everybody can hear me okay. Haven't heard from Gracie just yet, but there's no comments in there to say we can't hear you. And I can see we've got many friends in the room already.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed I haven't been waffling.
Waffling for nothing.
Waffling for nothing. But you know what? It's live TV. Yesterday we had horrendous storms, didn't we? We did. Really sort of torrential rain, thunder, lightning. Often, sometimes what can happen is that we can get a power cut.
Yes.
And sound is good. Thank you, Catherine. You can get a power cut. And there was at one point where the lights flickered slightly. And I thought, no, please don't. But it did stay with us.
You had riverside views yesterday.
We did, yes. The road was turned to a river very short, briefly. Luckily, by the time we finished it, it was all gone. Yeah. So yeah, very interesting day weather-wise. But I mean, I think we're a lot more fortunate than other places in the world currently at the moment as well, with the sort of weird weather that's going on. Right. Okay. So should we have a bit of a recap on the brand new collection that we launched yesterday? And it's been so popular. Thank you so much. So the idea behind it was Barb's idea to have a plate that was a midi size. So in between the A5 square and the A6 square. So it was sort of Barb and Jazz were bouncing off one another, came up with the name, came up with the size, and then came up with the designs. So this is the brand new French lace midi collection. So I'm going to bring the details up on the screen. Let me just go over to my screen over here. So Gracie said the sound is all good. Thank you, Gracie. Okay, so in this collection, and you'll notice also, I forgot to mention, we've got 3 new releases during the 10 days, and each of those will have double points for 10 days from when they are released. Brilliant. So this one launched yesterday, and if you buy it between yesterday and the 15th of July, I forgot what month, I only said January, then you will get double points on those items. So 42500, so normally £62.99. You've got a £6.30 saving, bringing it down to £56.69. And then you've got your club discount as well. So it'll be 10, 12.5 or 15% discount. So for example, if you're a Diamond Club member, that brings the price down to £48.19. Wow. Okay, so you've got your brand new plate mate in there. You've got A5 parchment, and then you've got the 4 little midi plates. Okay, so I just thought we'd put that out there, and we'd have a look at a little bit later in a bit more detail on what they look like. No, actually, let's do it now.
Let's do it.
There's nothing like that, because I mean, Louise has been playing with them. You saw that lovely piece of artwork that Barb was working towards yesterday that was created by Louise. So if I let me bring in the plate mate first, because sometimes you look at an image on the screen and you think, so let's have a look. If we go to the overhead, so you can see here, you have an A4 square plate with the aperture, and it comes with this lovely plate. I'm going to come in a bit closer. There we go. So it comes in with that lovely plate there. Now, if I compare that plate, actually, let's do this. If I compare that to an A5 square plate, there we go. Oops. Hello. There we go.
Hello.
So you can see, there we go. Just push that out there. The difference in the size. Okay, so that's your A5 square. That is your new midi plate. And then let me zoom out now. Let's get rid of this. So we've got A5 square. We've got the midi plate, and then you've got your A6 square plate. So you can see the different sizes. So this is lovely. It sits beautifully, just like that, doesn't it?
It's a really lovely smaller size without losing any of the detail of the larger size, isn't it?
Absolutely. And also, I mean, this plate mate, we were talking about this yesterday.
This plate mate.
And I can't believe how much Jazz crammed onto this plate. And you've got all these corners on here, and as Barb showed yesterday, Barb was working on this particular corner here, how you could take it into a square, but you can also, you could just use that as a lovely border. You can turn it as a rectangle, as a panel. There's so many possibilities. Let me zoom in on this one. Okay, look, you think I'd know where the cameras are? I was in here for hours yesterday with Barb, but yeah, keep moving around. And I'm not normally in this position. I'm normally to the side. But there was, I think it was like 16 minimum that we counted.
Yes.
But then we know, with the beauty of parchment and Groovy, that this one here, the inside is just a border. You got this one here. You could just take the what they call
the frill.
The frill.
Yeah.
That's it. You could just take the frill on its own.
Or just take the heart.
Just take the hearts.
Yeah.
Just take the squirrely bits underneath, or the pointy bits at the top. These are all technical terms. The swirly bits underneath and the squiggly bits at the top. And then you've got the dotted bits on. So I mean, pound for pound. I mean, I don't know how Jazz got all that on there.
And you got a square as well, haven't you?
And you've got a square on, yeah, I'd forgotten about that, the square just on the inside as well. Plus, you get that lovely
And that is
plate
gorgeous.
in the middle. I love the roses. I love this sort of, it's like a ribbon band, isn't it?
It is, yes.
And I've just,
Ruffled up,
yeah,
isn't
look,
it?
and then you've got these borders in here as well.
I know.
Goodness me. So if we have a look at a little bit of artwork, so this one here is from lovely Jill Askham, and she's just taken the plate exactly as it comes. She's replaced the frill in the middle
With just some of the dotty, really pretty
Yeah,
dotty
the little
effects.
flower. Yeah, because you've got the little hearts. I saw those
Yeah.
yesterday. But there they are. They're there.
Oh, they're up there
Little
as well. Oh,
there.
yeah.
This one is from Gorgeous Glynis.
Oh,
I love the candy stripe effect on
yes,
this.
that is beautiful.
Lots of lovely multi-needle tool, which Glynis is very famous for. Lovely Louise here. So that's nice. That's changing it up using one of the other plates. And then this one, Queen of Grids, Josie Davidson. I love this just pattern in the background.
So pretty.
So that's just a selection of artwork from that particular plate. Okay, so have a look at some of the other plates. Everything's on the show page today, so that you can go back and say, Gracie, I know she was having a few tech issues over in New York. It happens. I mean, we had some tech issues here the other day. So Gracie will pop the link up. If you go into the catch up and craft section on the website, Lacey, Gracie, I'm getting Louise and Grace, Kane's lace. Well,
Lacey.
Lovely lace on the face.
Lacey, yeah.
Grace will pop a link up to the catch up and craft section where you can go back and see all the demo downloads from yesterday. You can see all the product information. And don't forget, though, everything that was brand new yesterday, which was this new collection, either as a collection or individually, there's double points on for the 10 days. We also decided, Barb launched a fantastic A4 stamp set.
Oh, yes.
We gave double points on that, and we also put 10% discount on it, even though it's not Groovy. And those lovely toppers and tags printed designs of the French lace as well. 10% discount and double points for 10 days.
Wow.
And because it all started with a starter kit, we've also put double points for the whole of the 10 days on that as well. So it already had a discount. You got saving on that discount as well. So I think it brings it, I know it brings it down. Look, let me bring up I'm going to go to camera 4. You can see that there while I swap the camera over. Here we go. So item number 42144. So it brings the price down to £70.55. And if you're a Diamond Club member, it brings it down to £59.97. Wow. And it literally does what it says on it. It is a starter kit. You get this home and you can get started straight away. Barb was saying yesterday that we're also finding many of, because obviously Clarity was a stamp company 33 years ago and still is. So when Groovy was launched, a lot of our friends that were stampers jumped on board the Groovy bus. Yes. I mean, the likes of Jane Telford. I mean, she posted a comment on Barb's blog from Saturday saying, oh no, she bought the starter kit. She wasn't going to take up another craft. And now look at the artwork that Jane does. And beautiful. She went on TV for us. She demonstrates at the open days. She runs a little craft group at the monastery. And I mean, you wouldn't know that Jane's only been doing it 10 years. No,
that's true. And that it's about the Groovy bus and getting off where you want, but also there's so many things to learn. Groovy just makes it accessible so that you can create that initial line art, and then after that everything else is traditional, but you just learn it as you go along because the line art's so easy.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the information of Starter Kit. Right, let's have a look at what we're going to look at today. Did you know, I saw this earlier and I said to Louise, did you know? She went, no, but I haven't had any yet. Apparently it is World Chocolate Day today.
Nice.
Okay. So so after this, we're going to go and find some chocolate to help celebrate World Chocolate Day as well as Groovy. And for the Groovy celebration, Louise has actually made us a cake, haven't you, Louise?
I have.
Okay, so let me bring the details up. Now, this is one of the best low-fat cakes ever.
It is.
Okay,
Yes.
you will not gain any weight, or you won't feel sick or anything if you overindulge. Let me bring up the information on the screen. Actually, I'm going to go full screen on this one. Item number 41632. This is our cake template A4 and border Groovy collection. Now, this is normally $44.97. It already had a discount. You've then got the additional celebratory 10% discount, bringing it down to £31.47. Now, if you are a Diamond Club member, that brings it down even further. Okay, that brings it down to £26.75.
Wow.
That A4 plate on its own is £24.99.
Yeah. So
okay, so for a Diamond Club member, for an extra £1.76, you're going to get anything else.
With all the elements and everything.
With all the elements.
Brilliant.
Okay. Now, this is one of my favourite. Parchment is fragile.
Yes.
Okay, because once you mark parchment, that's it. It's marked. There's no going back. However, it's quite robust when it comes to construction.
Yes.
So this is a cake that Louise has made for us. I'm going to reach in. Okay. And this is using our cake template. Okay. I love this. The construction, we're going to have a look at it on the overhead. Yes. So to make a complete cake with no calories whatsoever, there we go. Zoom out.
When we say I made it, I put
constructed
them in
it
together.
Constructed it. So it takes 12 pieces of A4 parchment to create this. You could do this to make a lovely centerpiece. You can have some flowers, artificial flowers coming out in the middle, party invites, table settings. They really are. Let me just bring this one up here. If I put the cake to one side, I'll pass that to Louise. I'm going to come in on this camera here. Oh, there we go. Let me reach over and zoom out on that camera. Okay, so you can see here the dimension of that lovely cake box. And the plate comes with lovely decorative elements on there. Okay, but it can work that way. So this one's by Josie Davidson, as it's revealed underneath. So it makes lovely table settings. It could be, Louise said earlier, it can make a lovely, fantastic modern Christmas tree.
Yes.
It could be a table number setting. It can put chocolates in there for World Chocolate Day. You'll get a few lovely Ferrero Rocher in there, my favourite ones.
Oh, I love Ferrero Rocher.
But they wouldn't stay in there very long.
No.
But you can see, or it could be a piece of cheese. It's a chunk of cheese, like cheese, isn't it? So if you're into your cheese,
you can celebrate World Cheese Day when that comes around.
Absolutely. And it's great because when you look at the different things that you can do with it, and I mean, look at these. These are absolutely magnificent.
They are so
look
pretty.
at that. And when you combine it with our lovely coloured parchment, it really can make a difference. This one here is from Chris Walker. Look at that.
It looks so beautiful.
You know what? This would look lovely with these new French lace plates. I can just see, for example, this lovely frame here going down there, or using some of those corners that on there to decorate. This one here. See, it's quite difficult for the design team to put names on it, isn't it? Because of the way in which they're constructed. And they're so easy to make. They really are. This one here, another one from Josie Davidson. Look at that.
They're so pretty, isn't it?
Look. Celebrate your special day. One more. Oh, it's hard to choose. One more. Let's go. Oh, I don't know. Let's go this one.
Oh,
I reckon.
Pretty.
This one's Emma Burns.
Bit of ribbon through it. That's
so there we go. Look at that. Now, if you look at this pattern down here, this will be featuring in tomorrow's 2 o'clock show. And so this is by Emma Burns. So remember that technique Barb was showing yesterday with the perforate with those grids through there?
Yes.
To do that type of effect, it sort of makes it semi-translucent, doesn't it?
Yeah, so
but
pretty.
really, really beautiful. Okay. But it's not just for 3D construction, because if we have a look at the plates, if we look on the overhead on what you're going to get in the collection, let me just zoom out on there. We come in. So you've got your plate, which gives you the shape of your cake. Okay. Then you've got all these different decorative elements on them. In addition to that, you've then got your 2 borders. So you've got these lovely icons on there. You've got your doves, you've got a wedding ring, engagement ring, horseshoe, bells, rose, heart. Then you've got your, for me, this one here, let me zoom in a little bit. This is like that really fancy icing on the side of the cake, isn't it? The piping.
All the lovely piping on it.
You've got your champagne glass, your champagne bottle. So it really is a fantastic sort of collection of celebration plates. And on the plates, also, you get the instructions are laser etched in there, so you're not going to lose them.
Oh, that's good.
Which is really good. I mean, this is so easy to do. When you do it once, you'll never really forget how to do it.
No, exactly.
But what you can also do is make cards with them. So here's a selection of artwork. So this is from lovely Gail Sydenham.
Yeah.
So she's taken the elements from those plates to create beautiful wedding cards and a gift tag. Then I love this. We knew who this was straight away.
Yeah.
This one here from Tina Cox. So she's used the design elements on there. Then we've got another one from Tina. So this is using the candles on the cake slice. And this, I believe, is one of the border grids, which we're going to feature tomorrow, aren't we, Louise?
Yes, we are.
And then
also
just
Tina.
taking the panel and that sentiment. So if you're thinking, well, I'm not really into my 3D construction, then you can use the elements on there to do so many different things from it.
You can, yeah.
And I thought what we'll do is just have a quick demo just to show you how to construct it. Okay, so here's one I made earlier, and there's something else I want to show you as well. So what you're going to do is you're just going to trace it out. So this is just the basic shape. I've put some high-tack tape on each of the flaps, which it tells you to on those instructions, which are in there. Then all I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab a Pergamano ruler. So this is the line, this is the front, it's been etched on that side. So all I'm going to do now is take my Pergamano ruler and I'm going to put it up against the scored line and then just gently tease it. Okay, so all you're going to do now, like so, you're going to do all of your crease lines. It really is, and I'm sure if some of our design team are in the chat, they will tell you how easy. This is one of the easiest designs to work with. Then all I'm going to do now is come round on that side. And then I'm just going to, just for speed, I'm just going to do that. If you do it like I'm doing now, and you fold it wrong, there's no going back.
No,
so it is always a good way to do is with the ruler. It really is. Okay, so then all I'm going to do is now just gently fold it over like so. Not so sure about this one. Needs a little teasing first. There we go. So now you can see this is what we've got. Okay, so what I need now is, you know, it's going to take you like 10 minutes just to get the backing off. High-tack tape. Oh, that wasn't too bad, was it? Like so. And I would definitely recommend on any of our templates that you use high-tack tape rather than a wet glue. Okay, just my job. So what I've done now is I've folded that one into the middle like so, and then that is going to go like so. So now I've created my point. Then this one comes in like so. Let me come in. I might be coming in too close. Let me see. Okay, no, that's a bit better. And then I'm just gently pushing along like so. Okay. And then what I would do, because my hand's too chunky to go there, I would take I'd take the ruler, and then all I'm going to do is just push in there to make sure it's completely sealed.
Good idea.
Okay, and then you could put some, depending on what you're going to put in there, you could put some high-tack tape on there, and then that goes like so. And I've now got, on this camera,
your tree or piece of
I now
cake.
got my tree or my piece of cake. So easy. Okay. However, that's parchment.
Yes.
You could do this from card.
Okay.
I know, I can hear Louise going, but it's a groovy plate. How do I see the grooves? Okay, bear with. So I've got my groovy plate here. Because of the shape of the cake box, the cube box, the Christmas tree, you're not tracing out the detail, you're just tracing out the shape.
Yes.
Okay, so I've got a piece of pearlescent card here. Okay, and all I'm going to do, I'm going to go onto the overhead. Let's zoom out again. Okay, so I'm working on the back. I've got the groove here. Okay, and what I do need, I should have
what do you need?
The Groovy tab.
Groovy tab.
Groovy tab. I'll just go for low tack tape.
Okay.
And hope that it's not too low tack. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that on there like so. I'm still going to rub the back of the card with my tumble dry sheet, because what it's going to do, it's going to allow my tool to glide on the cardstock.
Okay, I got you.
But obviously I can't see through it, so I don't know where to start. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to lift up so I can see roughly where that first line is here. Okay, I'm going to press onto the card quite firmly.
With the number 2, aren't you?
Okay, and I'm going to come in with the number 2, and as I come in, it's marking the card, but then when I go into that groove, like so, okay, what it's doing is it's allowing me to trace out the design. Okay. Gracie has said she's just shared a step-by-step blog of the 3D cake making by Glynis over on the Clarity Matters blog.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I forgot. And there's so many tutorials over there as well. So I know I'm getting the shape. Okay. And if you jump out the groove, it's really weird. It's marking the back of the card, okay, but it's not marking the front. Okay, so if I turn this over and come in on there, so you can see, can't you, where you're getting the outline of the card. Okay, so what you do is you work your way very patiently all the way around.
Yeah.
Okay, depending on your cardstock, you could use the light panel underneath.
Yeah.
And you may get some light coming through. But with a pearlescent, because it's got a coating on it, it tends not to allow too much light through. Okay. But if you've got the light panel, then try it. But otherwise, it's just a little bit of patience, and you're just pushing into the groove. And then what happens is when you've traced it all out, you can see I've now got the shape of my cake box. So I've added in those extra panels on the inside, but you don't have to. I could have just done the outside, and then you could either take a pair of scissors and cut it out, or you could use your craft knife and ruler and cut it. It's very, very easy to do. And then you can decorate it however you wish and construct it just like I showed you there.
You can put a nice little rub-on there.
You could put lovely Pergamano rub-ons on there. You could take the cardstock, if you've gone for more of an uncoated card, you could do those lovely French lace stamps that Barb launched yesterday.
Oh, yes.
I reckon they would look lovely in those panels.
They would.
And Dee actually used one of our cube boxes and decorated one yesterday, didn't she?
Yes.
With those panels.
Like
so I reckon, yeah, the base of that, so you could definitely get those stamps on those panels as well.
Yeah, brilliant.
Okay, so that's what we wanted to share with you today, one of the items. And because we're celebrating 10 years of Groovy, it made perfect sense to have a cake. Definitely. Right, let me pop these bits under here. I'm going to bring the details up on the screen for you while we just clear those little bits away for you. So if you're interested in the complete cake selection, the item number for that is 41632. It shows an overall saving of £13.50, which brings the price down to £31.47. And as I mentioned earlier, if you are a Diamond Club member, that brings it down to £26.75, giving an overall saving of £18.22. Okay, now let me just bring up on that. We're going to go back to the front camera now. So if you just want, so there's a collection to the side of your screen there where Louise is. If you want just the A4 plate, the item number for that is 40375. You can see there £24.99, 10% off brings it down to £22.49. These prices are automatically discounted on the website. You don't need to put any additional codes in. Yeah. If you are a club member, just make sure you log into your account first before placing any orders. And then after all discounts have been applied, if your basket is more than £50, then you will be entered automatically into today's prize draw to win a Groovy golden ticket worth £60 for one of our 123 online courses, whether you want to go back and do the foundation course, the whitework course, or maybe you've done those and you're thinking, oh, there we go, 60 quid. Barb worded it differently because I had 10 of them. She went, there's £600 you're holding in your hand.
Yeah.
A value of, I just looked at it, it was £60 because I was looking at one day at a time.
Yeah.
But yeah, a whole £600 worth of free gifts on that. Okay. So the plate is available on its own. All of the borders are available as well. And what we're going to look at next, okay, wooden toys. These are gorgeous. So many of you shackers will recall that these were doodled in the shack. We have them available as stamps. We've also got them in dies. But because we're celebrating 10 years of Groovy, we have them in 4 A6 Groovy plates. We also, I say we, when I say we, it's the royal we, i.e. I have nothing to do with it, and it's Barbara and Jazz. A plate mate for A6 plates together with some parchment. So this has a normal price of £58.98. There was already a discount on there of £10. Then we've given you 10% off of that reduced price, given an overall saving of £14.90. Wow. Which means as a Diamond Club member, it brings it down to £37.47, giving an overall saving of £21.51.
Wow.
Okay, so let's bring up the details on the side of the screen and let's have a look at. Okay, I'd get the buttons right by now. Well, I load so much onto the show, and all I can see on the side of our screen is these tiny little images, and I have to number them, but I have to refer to my list and hope that my list agrees. No, it does agree, but it's still, you've got to count because the numbers are so small. Anyway, let's have a look at the plate mate first, shall we, Louise?
Okay.
So let's have a look on the overhead. So another piece of magic by Jazz. So this plate here in the middle comes out.
Yeah.
So that's your A6 plate. All these fantastic sentiments in there. Let's zoom out. Then look, Jazz has put
so many
corners.
Again.
Then you've got all these
Dotty
little decorative on there. You've got mistletoe. I love this zigzag on this plate. And
really
you can
nice.
extend that, you can shorten it. You've got those lovely merry and bright semicircles that you can turn into complete circles. Candles, presents. So these are lovely little gift tags.
Oh, the little reindeers.
The little reindeers kissing. Love you. Christmas tree.
I love the stars as well.
To and from stars, yeah, fantastic. Yeah. So in a way, although it's Christmas, there's so much celebration on there as well, isn't there?
Definitely.
Because you've got fairy lights on there, can be anytime, stars, up the
it's
stars.
Funky, isn't it? You can use stars, this little star border whenever, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Little tags on there.
Love you. It could be Valentine's Day as well.
Yeah.
Presents, birthday.
Birthday, Christmas, birthday. Anniversary. So let's have a look at some artwork that's been created just really using the plate mate.
Yes. Oh, that's so pretty.
Who created that? Is that a Carol Pankstello, I reckon?
Karen Jackson.
Karen Jackson. Yeah. Okay. Let's take that one away. And
using
let's zoom in.
Our dies as well, isn't it?
Yeah, look at that. So it's just that one little focal point. I say one little focal point, which are the little deer here. Little deer here.
Little deers.
Okay. Then she's taken the fairy lights from here on there. Then she's taken the fairy lights again, but done them in white. Fairy lights again in colour. Isn't that lovely?
So pretty.
So that's using, oh, and the sending love will be on here somewhere. There we go. Sending love. There. Oh, so that one's from Karen Jackson. Then the next one is from
Josie Davidson.
Lovely Josie Davidson.
Wow.
So she's great. That's nice. I like the holly.
Yes.
Excuse me. Sorry. Going in the middle. Look, fairy lights again.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Lovely multi-needle tool around the outside. And that's just using the 4 different icons on the plate mate. So there's your robin, there's your candles, your presents, and your bells. Oh. And then the holly is there.
Oh yes, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And you got little Christmas trees as
little Christmas trees as well. Yeah. Okay. Oh. So now let's have a look at our characters. Okay. So the first character we have is the angel.
Yes.
So the way in which Barb designed these were that it was like the old-fashioned wooden toys on wheels.
Yeah.
And then you've got the little scenes inside them.
I mean, even here that you got that. These borders could be used separately. You've got a lovely heart border.
Yeah, the heart border, the double frame. You've got the chain. But look.
Oh, the little houses.
The little houses in the little lamppost. Silent night, peace on earth. As I say, if you like these designs, then check out the website because they are also available in stamps and in dies as well.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at some artwork on this one. So this one is from
Carol Baker.
Carol Baker. There we go. So you can see Carol's taken that design exactly as it comes. She's added some extra stars into the sky. Then she's used the designs from the plate mate to create the outer frames.
It's a really lovely font as well, isn't it?
Yeah, let me come in a little bit closer. And look, can you see that sparkle?
Oh.
Perga glitter. That would definitely have 10% off. Look at that. I love it.
So pretty.
So that's a piece of artwork from the angel. Then we go to the choir boy.
Choir boy.
So this one here.
I love the little scenes in each one.
Yeah, and they've all got different scenes that you can mix and match. You could take this scene and put it into any of the different characters. You've got your different pulley strings. So this one's got like sleigh bells.
Oh, yes.
You've got music quavers on there. You've got dangly holly, the various different notes. You've got the bells, merry and bright, love, hope. Really nice, aren't they?
Yeah, that's really nice.
So then we've got some artwork on this one.
A lovely Glynis.
Look at that. Wow.
Using our basic grids as well.
Yeah, they're Josie's the basic arch duet grid. A little bit of stitching in there with our gold threads.
Oh, yeah.
Who's Fred?
Who's Fred?
Fred. Look at that chain. So Glynis has used a chain from one of the other plates, rather than the sleigh bells. A little bit of metallic gel pens on there. See if we can get that glint.
It's like a gilded book then, isn't it?
It is,
like
yeah. Look at that.
Expensive gilded
You
book.
can see that. So that's one lovely piece of artwork. Then we have
Julie Campbell.
This is
using
nice.
that lovely, and she's extended that zigzag.
Yes, that zigzag that I liked.
And using the lovely mistletoe as well as a dotted effect around it. So pretty.
So you can see there that lovely zigzag that I liked has been used around the outside there, and then the mistletoe, the dotted design around there.
Pretty.
No,
perforating tools as well.
Yeah, it's got to be a PKV, that, hasn't it?
Yes,
I reckon. Different sizes: the large, the medium, and the small. There.
Pretty.
So that's rather
gorgeous.
Looks
like it could be Glynis.
That's a Glynis. I don't even know.
Oh, it's Karen.
Oh, is it Karen?
I thought it because the tag.
The tag.
She loves using a tag.
Yes.
No, it's Karen Jackson.
So Karen Jackson. So just changing the colours of the characters as well can give them different.
They all look so different, don't they?
Yeah.
So pretty.
That's using one of Josie's basic grids as well. That's the triangle one, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, using the lovely little musical notes in the background.
Yeah, singing his little heart out, bless his cotton socks. Then we've got the Christmas tree.
There we go.
This is nice. We've got the little reindeer.
Bows and mistletoe.
Yeah, glad tidings, Merry Christmas, your fairy lights again. As your little, but they're just lovely standalone icons, aren't they?
They are, yes. This is definitely Glynis.
Wow, yeah. Let me zoom out on this one.
Multi-needle tools.
Look at that.
So pretty.
So I reckon that Glynis has used one of Linda Williams' easy layout plates to create those sections. Then her main focal point is the Christmas tree. Then she's taken the inner part of that first one we looked at, which was the angel. No, not the angel.
I think it was the angel.
Oh yeah, it was the angel.
Yeah.
So Glynis has taken the angel there. Then this has come from the platemate. That's come from the platemate. This is that Merry and Bright. That's also from the platemate.
Showing that you can, like they said, it was a semicircle.
It was, yeah, and turned it into a circle. Multi-needle tools around the outside.
Yeah.
What's that, a Pico V, do you reckon?
Yes. Yeah,
yeah, Pico. I loved it. Glynis's multi-needle work is outstanding. And Glynis did a number of, on the Clarity Matters blog, if you have a look on there, we used to do projects every Sunday. And Glynis, painstakingly, when we was looking at Linda Williams' multi-needle tool handbooks, she did some fantastic tags, because we're talking about making things achievable, the mini makes. And so, I mean, when we look at this piece of artwork, this is quite substantial, isn't it? I mean, it's the size of my hand.
It is, yes.
And then you think, oh, where do I start? How do I do this? But if you take, for example, one of the tags like this, all of a sudden, it makes it more achievable. And Glynis did so many fantastic step-by-steps using the various multi-needle tools from Linda. And they're all still there, so you can go back and I mean, the hours involved in putting all those together. Not only creating the piece of artwork, writing up the instructions, then Grace used to drop it all in there, and then she had to lay it all out and then link all the product in as well. And we used to have fantastic contributions from Glynis, from Jane, from Josie, Tina Cox did some, Linda Williams. That was just on the parchment side. Then we used to have Sarah Brennan, Tina Morris, Sonia Goodliff, a lot of the stampers, Sheila Metzler. I often forget, it's often, because we're always looking in front of us of what's coming up, we often forget what's going on behind us. And this celebration of 10 years of all things Groovy, I think really gives us that opportunity to look back, see where we started. I mean,
the journey of
the
last
starter
10 years.
kit when it was first launched was this, which was a blue mat, the A4 plate mate, 2 design plates, 2 wooden tools, which are still I grew up on the Groovy starter kit, they're I still go, and parchment, compared to what you get now in there. So you can see how it's evolved, because you've still got your plate mate, you've got the hills, the trees are no longer in there, but they've been replaced by the nested squares. One of my all-time favorites and classics, the butterfly reef. A fairly recent addition is Barb's Loving Heart. So the hills and the mountains, the suns and the moons. Then, because we brought out the baby plates, you've got the adapter plate that fits inside. You've then got your A4 black mat, 2 double-ended wooden tools. You now get Groovy tabs in there. Back in the day, it was sellotape that used to rip your parchment. Tumble dry sheet, 20 sheets of parchment, so that's still there from the original. And then this fantastic double-sided project sheet. And I'm just going to swap the details up on the screen for that, just to show. Wrong one. There we go. Item number 42144. And there's been various configurations of the starter kit over the years. As Groovy and Clarity have evolved, and different ideas, working with different designers, from Linda Williams, Tina Cox, Josie Davidson, and they all had their input and it all made changes. And when you look at that price now, I know it's discounted, and obviously we're running the promotion and everything else. But as a starter kit, if I go to as a Diamond Club member, £59.97. Okay. Yeah. So when you look back 10 years ago, that was £50, and what you got in it then, which at the time was fantastic value and a great introduction to parchment craft. It really was.
Yeah, because the one with the blue mat and everything is the one that I started with.
Yes, what I started with. Well, I mean, I was on the design team back then, and I always loved parchment, and I had the Pergamano boxed kit. Yeah. But I couldn't do it.
No, I know.
Too impatient. Surely not. But the Groovy system, when you traced, and all of a sudden, wow,
that's easy.
Really, really. I mean, I do look back. I've got some of my original artwork from back there, because it was only me and Barb that were doing the samples back then. And I look back and I thought, I was happy with it then. Yeah. But 10 years on, I'm still happy with it, because we all have to start somewhere.
Definitely, yeah.
But it's all about that journey.
I think that's what everybody forgets, is that at one point or other, we've started our first piece and it was just like, oh, okay. And you look back on the first piece now and you think, wow, I've come such a long way.
Yeah.
It is a learning curve, continuous learning.
It is, but it's like anything that we learn, whether we're learning to drive, when you get in a car and you think, where's the gear stick? And now you just go change gear and off you go, don't you? Yeah. It's like anything. Or as Elizabeth says, the more you do, I can't think of the sentiment, I've just completely messed that up. The more you do, the better you get, the more you want to do, along those lines.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, Elizabeth, totally stuffed that one up. But you know what I mean? The Groovy system, crafting generally.
Yes.
I mean, when you're working with the stamps, quality of the stamps, you get that beautiful, crisp impression every single time. And I've got stamps from over 10 years ago, and you can still use them, and they still work perfectly well.
Quality lasts, doesn't it? That's
it really, really does. Yeah. So I know I sort of digress slightly, but when we look at this piece of artwork, and it was that Clarity Matters blog, and I know Grace popped a link up to the Clarity Matters blog earlier. Let me just change those details of what we are looking at on the screen. Oh, wrong button. I can't multitask. I can't click and read. So this lovely piece was from Glynis, and then we've got some more artwork.
We've got Hazel Edwards.
Lovely. So that's, I love this. Look, personalization. Alex. So she's cut a little aperture underneath. Cute. That's all been pico cut around the outside.
And we got Carol Paxtella.
I like this
Lovely
as well.
little
Oh, look,
glitter.
she's taken those little reindeer. Let me zoom in.
Oh, yes, the kissing reindeers.
She's taking the kissing reindeers from the starter kit. They are on the starter kit.
And the little
yeah, the trickling of the fairy lights.
That's so pretty.
Definitely got some perga glitter on that one. Look at
Carol
that.
loves her glitter.
She does indeed. Okay. Then we're going to move on to the fourth one in the collection, which is the reindeer. So he's got another lovely little scene underneath. Different strings. So this one, he's got string, then the frames are straws. Stars?
Stars?
Oh, I don't know. I need to have a lie down in a dark room. And then we've got some artwork.
So Jill Ascombe.
Is that Jill Ascombe? I was going to say that's Jill Ascombe. Let me come in on that one. Look at that. That's all been pico cut around the outside. Little sets have been done on different layers. And look, that little holly from the platemate.
So pretty.
Really nice. And then the final piece.
Can you guess who did this?
I think this might be a Francis knot.
It is, yeah.
Look at that.
Wow.
And Francis has used Linda's easy layout plate as well. I think that's the fairy one, isn't it? The Christmas one.
So pretty.
Let me just see if I can get that. So you can see that gold writing. But now this is where our Pergamano rub-ons really come into play now.
Yes.
So you get that beautiful crisp sentiment, not only in gold. Let me bring it on this one. There we go. Not only in gold with the rub-ons, but you get them in black and also in the white. And
they all look nice on parchment or paper, don't they?
Absolutely, they really, really do. And I mean, I've got mine in a slowdown box.
Yes, me too.
And it's great. I mean, you can tell this one's mine.
Fancy a cuppa.
Because I put one of the rub-ons on there. Fancy a cuppa. I have several cups on the go throughout the day. And it's a great way of storing them. I keep a pair of scissors in there specifically for just those. I've got my hockey stick. Because otherwise, you know, it's like you start to do something. You think, where's this? Where's that? So I keep it all in there. You've got I'm going to put that in there. Let me move that out of the way. Oh, so good. So I'm going to take this out like so. You've got the all occasions, you've got your Christmas, your friendship, your birthday, and your anniversary. They all come with a little lollipop stick, but if you want to go out and have some extra lollies if you lose your lollipop stick, but the hockey stick is key. And then you can see here, look, I've obviously used some of them already, but you just cut them out individually, and then, like you can see, I've done it on that one. Take the backing off, but they're just quick and easy on there. And as long as you pop them back in, you can pop them on the shelf like I have behind me. So if you're interested in the rub-ons, the item number for the complete collection is 70485. And then if you want a slowdown box, item number 31382, and then £9.99 plus your club discounts.
I've got quite a few of those now.
Barb's got it looks lovely. Next time Barb's back in the shack when she gets back from holiday, you have a look behind her. You don't necessarily notice them until someone points them out, because they sit beautifully in the background. And Barb's got she's made little printed images from what's inside them.
Yes.
So she's got one for Janice's timestamp creations. Then she's got one for the Build a Reef collection. And then there's one for all of the treescapes and the masks.
Yes.
In there. And she keeps it. But as long as she puts them back, then she'll know where to find. But I think if you've got something that's so easy like that with those slowdown boxes, it's easy to put them in there, isn't it?
It is, yes.
If you're thinking, I've got to put it in this folder, I've got to put it in that drawer. If you've got those collections in there, you put it in there, put it on the bookshelf, job done. And it was quite funny. A couple of months back, Bob said, I can't find stamps. I can't find these stamps. And I said, you put them in a slowdown box. No, I wouldn't. Yes, you did. Yeah. No. And then she rang back. She went, I found them. they're on the shelf, but that she'd forgot to put a label on it, so it just looked like an empty slowdown box. She went, I've made a label now.
So it won't happen again.
No, but I think that's all part of it, isn't it? It's organisation.
Yes.
And Dave, very kindly, because he makes our lovely tool holders, and I know how much time it takes Dave to make these.
Yeah.
Okay, because obviously they have to be cut out, then they have to be assembled, they have to be glued together and everything else. And I said to Dave, we're celebrating 10 years of Groovy. I said, am I allowed to include this in the 10% discount? And he went, wow. He said, it's only 10 days. I've seen the orders coming in. So if you're interested in topping up on one of those, the item number is 31797. And they are great. They're not just for your Pergamano tools, they're for your stamp pens.
Yes.
Stamp pens are not included in the Groovy promotion because although they're Pergamano handles, they're a Clarity product. But there's 10% off on all of the Pergamano tools.
Yeah.
Some of the bundles are already discounted, so you'll get the extra 10% off on that. Yesterday we set up, Barb had her work in progress one, all the tools she needed for the project yesterday. So it was like a little workstation.
It's good to have that.
You do the same, don't you?
I do, Tuesday. Because otherwise I'm just trying to, it flies underneeth things.
They
and
slide
you're thinking,
around, don't they? Yeah, exactly. And they slide around and think, where's it gone? And it's on the floor. And so to have those lovely little tool caddies or tool holders are fantastic. And you can have an empty one like you have, don't you? And then when you know, right, I'm working on this project, load it up, that's what I'm going to need. Or as you're progressing through a project, take it out, put it in there, carry on working, take the next one, put it in there. Because then if you think, oh, what tool did I use? Or especially now that you're doing Groovy Tuesday.
Yes.
And it's and it's remembering that I've used this tool and I've used that tool. But if it's in that little work caddy, then it's easy for you to get to grips with.
Definitely, yeah.
Because obviously, Groovy Tuesday, I mean, God, I think it's up to episode 195 tomorrow.
Wow.
195 episodes, which are all available on our YouTube page.
And that starts right at the beginning, doesn't it? The
Starts
very
right
first Groovy Tuesday you did was
my very first Groovy Tuesday.
Starter kit, wasn't it?
That was nerve-wracking, I can tell you. As a result of lockdown, and we had to do a number of pre-records to send to the TV because obviously we weren't allowed into the building. So at that time, it was easier to do a pre-record. They would send it to it, they'd play it out. Barb had been doing that type of recording for many years. She was one of the first crafters on YouTube with the regular YouTube Tuesdays. And so it was more natural for Barb. I've always had to bounce off of somebody, whether it be a presenter, a Barbara, bouncing off Barbara, not a Barbara. But there's always that rapport between two, and you get that instant feedback, as you know yourself. And so then having to do a pre-record, that was a bit daunting, but you get used to it. And then doing your very first Groovy Tuesday
on your own,
and it was sort of right, off you go. And it was, I mean, now it's second nature. Just like it is today. But the first time, and I started with the starter kit that was available at that time, because again, it's evolved from then to there. And now I think there's been about 3 or 4 different reincarnations of the starter kit because, we need to put this in, we need to put that in. And as things develop, Groovy tabs, they're a real game changer.
Definitely,
and that was Mr. Dave again. He found the Groovy tabs. And they work perfectly. And then obviously Louise came back to us and joined us earlier in the year.
I did.
How many months now?
It's been 4.5.
4.5 months. With the idea for Louise to take over the Groovy Tuesday, so that it frees me up to do other stuff behind the scenes. And it's not easy, is it, when you first do it?
No. I remember the first time I did it as well, something happened.
First time, the sound didn't work, didn't it?
I think that kind of calmed me down then, because I thought, well, if
it goes wrong, someone's the other side of the door. So, and it is, and now look, it's sort of second nature now, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah, it didn't come natural at first, but you know, with anything you learn, don't you, as you go along, and what to do, you know, what makes sense and everything like that. So, and it's nice to have the chat as well on Groovy Tuesday.
On Groovy Tuesday, because you've got a form of
response.
Bounce
off of people talking to you or other people. So, and that's really nice as well. So you don't feel like you're on your own. You know, you feel like there's people in the room, but not in the room.
Not in the room, absolutely.
Not visually in the room, but they're in the room.
In the room, absolutely, just like they are today.
Yeah.
We were going to show you another product, but time has beaten us. We was going to look at the Pergamano parchment poppets. They're in the show page.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow we'll keep those for 2 o'clock. But I know what we're looking at 2 o'clock tomorrow.
Yes.
Some lovely revisiting some lovely designs that you may not be aware of if you're fairly new to the Groovy system, because over the 10 years it's definitely grown.
It has.
Thank you as always to the lovely Grace for keeping the chat going and keeping me in check with everything else. So thank you for it. So don't forget, just to recap, 10 years of Groovy, 10 days of celebrations. We're currently on day 2. 10% off all things Groovy and Pergamano, not only on the Clarity website, but also on pergamano.com. Then we've also got the daily Groovy golden ticket. So on all orders over £50. So I'll be choosing another winner tomorrow at 10 o'clock, based on orders placed today. Any new releases, you will get double points on for 10 days from the day of release. So for example, we launched yesterday with the brand new midi collection.
Yeah.
So if you purchase the bundle or the individual plates, you'll get double points if you buy it between yesterday, which was the 6th, up until the 5th at midnight on the 15th, you'll get double points. I've got a brand new plate launching on Friday at Hobby Maker. That'll be available on our website Friday morning. So you'll have 10 days from that point to buy that, and you'll get double points on that. And then the 10th day, we've got a lovely collection of plates from Linda Williams, which will also have double points for 10 days following after that as well.
Okay, that's good.
So rather than say, oh, we're going to do double points on certain thing for the 10 day, if we release something on the last day, it's not really fair, is it? That we say, oh, it's available now, but you only get double points for today. So that's what we thought, because it's all about the number 10. And then we're announcing all the golden tickets at 10 o'clock each day on our social media. Thursday, I'm going to do a 10 at 10.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't go on for 10 minutes. You know,
No,
it never does.
A bit longer.
Because I just waffle too much. So I'm going to choose some favourites on Thursday at 10 o'clock. Tomorrow you're back at 10 o'clock for Groovy Tuesday. Part 2 of this week's this session.
We'll be doing white work tomorrow.
Super duper.
We did the line art last week.
Yeah. So 10 o'clock tomorrow for Groovy Tuesday. I might actually sneak in and announce the winner.
Oh yeah, that's
live.
a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to remind me.
Okay.
I'll forget. Yeah, I'll come in. I'm going to sneak in at 10 o'clock. It's not sneak in. Louise will see me come in, the door's in front of her. She'll go, what's wrong? Yeah, so I'll come in at 10 o'clock and announce the winner, and then leave Louise to get that, and then we'll post it out on social media. Then we're back with you at 2 o'clock, 10 at 10 on Thursday, and then Hobby Maker at 1 and 5. And I might do something special on Saturday. Stay tuned. So thank you as always for coming. Thank you to the lovely Louise and Grace and all of our friends in the room. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you again very soon. Take care now.